guys, welcome back to Between Rounds. I'm here today with the greatest mind in MMA, they say. I said that. I've said it before. Mr. Greg Jackson.
How are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm better to be sitting here with you.
Oh, thanks for saying so.
Yeah, man. I started doing this, and it's become more of almost an homage for me to the sport, right? The people that I enjoy watching and admire. So I really appreciate you jumping on. Do you remember the first time we met?
Nope, I have no memory.
I don't either.
It's been that long.
You know, I remember we were at TKO in Montreal, and that's the first clear memory I have of you. You were with Damasio.
Okay.
And I was with Alvin. Alvin, that was his first loss.
Uh-huh.
And you were very kind after him. And but I remember you walking back. You walked out with Damasio. We were warming up, and all of a sudden you just walked back in. I'm like, "You okay?" He goes, "That overhand right, got him." Like right off the bat.
Right.
I was like, "Okay, good."
Right.
And then you invited us down to your school, and Alvin and I came down for a couple of days.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and that's what like really helped me so much was that how generous with your time you were.
Oh.
You know, because we came down there, you knew us from a cab ride to the venue and 20 minutes in the back. And I remember you sitting and taking time with us talking about the fight game. And so anyway, like
what a nice guy I am.
Yeah, it was a core memory for me.
That's awesome.
I don't remember what color those are in the movie, but I have one of those.
Right. That's funny.
So, gosh, and then we actually cornered together when Joe Riggs won the Fight Master show.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
You've done a bunch of reality TV shows though, right? The Ultimate Fighter.
I wouldn't say a bunch, but yeah, a couple. Yeah, couple times on the Ultimate Fighter, and then that Fight Master one was fun.
Boy, what a weird alternate universe those things are.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to do that. I'm very happy not being an entertainer. Yeah. I'll put it that way.
Well, you raised some pretty good entertainers, so
I was very lucky, but yes, very happy that I'm not me. That's not me.
Well, I mean, in getting into that, you're such a great coach and you've had such great experiences. I want to talk about the fights and the fighters, but really, like your philosophy, the way you handle people, all that kind of stuff is, I think, almost primary to the technical aspect in our sport sometimes. Obviously, they have to go hand in hand. Sure. But I want to take it back to the mean streets of South Albuquerque.
The South Valley, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I was raised in the South Valley in the 70s and 80s and then early 90s. And yeah, it's an interesting place. It's an interesting place. There's a lot of machismo culture there. You have like the absolute best people that you've ever met living literally next door to the worst people you've ever met. There's no like, the good people live here, the bad people live here. There's no like separation of that. Like everyone's just kind of lumped together. So you just never knew. How did
your parents, you said your parents are hippies?
Well, they were hard,
and Quakers.
Yes. That's true too.
So how did they end up, like when you moved to that neighborhood, are they okay with that? Like, is it nervous for them? Is it just something that you grow up with?
I guess, I still haven't really understood that all the way, but yeah, it was a very rough neighborhood very early. My mom was just telling me the other day that my first drive-by shooting, I was like 2.5 years old playing in the front yard, and the neighbor's guy had worked at this place and like fired a guy, and the guy came back and shot up his house, and I was like playing in the front yard. So yeah, it was one of those neighborhoods from the go, and they really wanted to buy land, and so they got like a 3/4 of an acre, and I think they just loved the South Valley. They were both started out as social workers and moved on to nursing, and my father helped handicap people with their rights, and so they both like had a life of kind of civil service. Yeah. And yeah, I guess they wanted to be where the metal hit the meat, and certainly Albuquerque is that place.
Well, like just hearing you say that, it would be. My wife wouldn't make it. It would be 3 minutes past there, and the car would be packed with or without me. Yep. You know what I mean? But it turned out great. Like you have great relationships with your family.
I do. I love my parents dearly. I'm very lucky. I mean, that was one of the things that I lucked out in is where I grew up. Not a lot of people had great parents, and I did. Yeah. And so I won the lottery there.
Well, how did you get started in martial arts?
Well, it was just that, right? So it was like in the South Valley, they didn't really care about anything except fighting.
Right.
So they didn't care if you could play soccer or what your math grades were or anything. All they cared about was could you fight or not. And there's a very natural kind of prejudice against white people there, since there was very many white people in the South Valley. And so you had this reputation immediately, if you were white, that you were weak and you couldn't fight and all of this stuff. So I figured, well, I better learn how to do that, since that's seems to be the most important thing in this place. So that's what I did.
So no classes at all, though. But your dad was a wrestler,
Right. So my whole family
your
wrestled.
uncle's a wrestler,
Right.
right?
Uncles. Yeah. My grandfather wrestled a little, and he was a kid. And yeah, all my uncles and my father was a state champion in Illinois. My little brother was a state champion here. My uncle took nationals at D2 or D3, I forget. Anyway,
Where did he wrestle?
Illinois, University of Illinois, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, it was. So yeah, I come from a long line of wrestlers. But the wrestling does help, obviously, if you're fighting more than one guy.
That doesn't help as
it doesn't
much.
help as much. So I had to really learn quickly what I needed to do to get my respect, and so that's what I did. And here I am, 700 years later.
Yeah, well, not quite 700, but almost. Especially feeling the things you've been through, the time adds up on you.
It does.
A lot of
quickly. Yes,
intense
quickly.
experiences.
It does that. Yeah.
So when you lived next door to a wrestler, you were friends with a wrestler. What was the kid's name? Brad Valdez.
Oh, the Valdez family. That's very good.
Yeah.
So actually down the street a little bit, he was maybe a couple miles away. But yeah, his family kind of took me in and really taught me how to fight. So, because again, I was raised by pacifist Quakers. So
Yeah.
my dad wrestled, but they didn't really fight. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so Brad and his brothers and his dad were all they all wrestled. They all boxed. They were like MMA. Before MMA, exactly. So, and they're just such great people. Like what I owe that family, I can never repay. Like they took me under their wing. They were so sweet to me. They were so nice to me. And yeah, we would train all the time and practice and go take care of business, practice again, and that's kind of what we did over and over. But
Just
yeah,
a feedback loop still.
Right. And so yeah, like Brad Valdez, Leo Gallegos. There's a lot of Mike Helvey. There's a lot of guys that I grew up with that we kind of all trained together, and again, fighting was kind of the way of life then, and so that's what we did.
Did you wrestle around in the grass in the house?
Yeah.
Did you go to
The backyards, and Brad had a little workout area in his house where it had like a speed bag and a punching bag and a bench and pull-up bar, and that's pretty much all you need. So yeah, there was a lot of that and a lot of sparring each other in parks and stuff like that.
Wow. And the dad was coach, like he was kind of the coach of it, or
Not
did
so
you guys
much.
just...
We kind of figured it out ourselves. The dad is an amazing person, one of the best welders ever, just so smart. But yeah, his brothers and Brad were really the guys that kind of guided it.
Yeah. And that when you started throwing your hands a little bit?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, you had to, right? So you had to do hands, and they wrestled, everything really. And at that time, I really wrestling didn't interest me as much as getting my hands going and my kicks and all that.
How old were you when this happened?
So I met Brad when I was in kindergarten, 5 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and so in Armijo Elementary School, and yeah, it was just like fighting was it was just part of your existence. It was normal. It's what you did.
And you were just always really curious about it?
Not so much curious. Like I never loved fighting. Like it's not something I'd wake up and be like, oh, I can't wait to fight. I was okay at it, and I did, especially as I got into later teenagehood. But yeah, it was a lot of learning. It was a lot of trial and error, and a lot of error. It's the story of my life.
Yeah, right.
And so it was that feedback loop. It was doing it over and over again. But it was less curiosity and more like I felt like I needed it. Like I always tell people I didn't watch a Bruce Lee movie and then like I want to do martial arts. I was like, I need to do this tomorrow. Like I'm probably going to get in a fight tomorrow, so I need it right now.
Wow. Well, that's pretty unique though, because you get to choose one way or the other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to get in a fight tomorrow, so I feel like I have a fever coming on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I wanted to. Well, you want respect, right? Like, and growing up, that was the hardest thing for me to do because I was stuck in this. I would get in fights and then get in trouble at home because my parents are pacifists. Why are you fighting? Why are you fighting? Turn the other cheek, et cetera, et cetera. So then I was in this world where I probably should have fought more, but then I wouldn't fight because I didn't want to get in trouble at home. And then but then as soon as people see you not fight, they all want to fight you so they can punk you. So then you end up fighting anyway. So yeah, it took me till I was probably about 15 or 16 to really kind of get my handle on when is violence appropriate, when isn't it appropriate,
Well, right when a teenage young man violence is always appropriate.
Right. Well, but not for me, right? Because I was raised by these people that valued that pacifist way of life.
Is that what you got most from? I've heard you describe your parents as Quaker, which of course they are, but what do you think that gave you in your life? Especially growing up, developing you.
Well, I think what it really did was allow me to justify my actions. So I would have to debate. It was not just, there was a whole group of Quakers. They're all super intellectuals, doctors and professors and all of this stuff. So there was a giant group of them. And so me having to justify my choices to choose violence when I did really got me good at articulating, when is it appropriate, when isn't it? And the fanaticism that actual pure pacifism takes is insane. To me, it's as crazy as anything else. Yeah. It was really a learning experience for me, but it really gave me the ability to talk to people that didn't agree with violence and try to meet them on their terms.
Will give you an intellectual pathway,
right,
in a physical world.
Yes, that is much better. That's no wonder you're doing this podcast. That's perfect articulation.
Oh, that's amazing. I had heard you talk about it, and I wasn't sure if it was work ethic or the pacifism I knew about, but the ability to articulate and think through those things.
It really helped me out, and just those ideas, like the exposure. Jim Dudley was one of the Quakers, and he still is my mentor, and he was the guy that would teach me about musical theory or fractals or nonlinear dynamics, all the science stuff, philosophy. So he would take me tromping out into the desert for sometimes days, a week at a time, whatever, and would just teach me about all that stuff too. So I was really lucky in that I had great parents, but then I had this great group of people that kind of fed me this intellectualism that was very important.
It's important to have good mentors.
It really is, and he's an amazing mentor. Still is.
You had it in the intellectual world, and you had that family, the Valdez family.
Yes,
in the physical world.
Exactly. I had a lot of good mentors. Again, I'm just lucky. I can't describe how lucky. We all should be dead, right? Everybody in this thing. So you get that kind of luck, but man, I just life luck. I shake my head. I just don't understand. I don't understand. I'll take it.
I was going to say, just take those cards and turn them over.
I'll take
sure.
it. Good Lord, I'm so privileged. I'm very lucky.
Well, all that, you're a very creative mind, and I've heard you say a couple of times that curiosity is kind of your strength.
For sure.
Were you curious about anything else in high school, or was high school kind of a...
No, I was curious about, any subject, anything I would want. I still do want to learn about, and so curiosity is my defining personality trait for sure. My mom told me when I was born that I didn't cry, not because I was tough, but I was just looking at the lights, like the lights in the ceiling. That's what she said when I was. Because when she first said it, I was like, oh yeah. She's like, no, you weren't. It wasn't because you were like a big macho guy. You were just I was fascinated by the lights. I was just looking at this light, looking at that light, just curious about everything from the go.
What a great story that is.
Yeah. So that's me, and really, I'm just always looking around, going, ooh, wow. That's cool. Whoa, what's this?
That's what a great personality trait to have.
Yeah,
as your number one strength.
Very lucky to be curious.
And in our sport, the desire to learn and get better is the lifeblood.
Right. No, it really
oxygen.
is.
I don't know what you want to call it, but it is everything to it.
It is. So I was lucky there too.
When you started your own school at 17?
Yeah, 92.
And I read that you started your own martial art. And I was curious about it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, again, that's just that I was disenchanted with karate, Aikido, all the other stuff that I'd try to take to help me fighting.
And you had taken Aikido, right?
Oh, yeah. Aikido, I jumped into karate classes.
Try that in a street fight?
Yeah, I did too. I did. These little boxers, I'd try to grab their hands and just lighten me up. Bang, bang, back to wrestling. You know what I mean?
Give me a minute. Give me that wrist.
Yeah, hold on. Can you hold? Yeah, just stay there and come at me like this. So, it was not good. But again, just so being let down by all of that stuff, So I came up with my own. It was in a very primitive MMA, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
It was like I always say, when the UFC first came out, I was doing something similar, but the Gracie family were like, PhDs, and I was in kindergarten. Like what they were doing was, so many years of their trial and error and how smart they are about developing. I just have so much respect for them, and I'm so grateful that they came out and did the UFC and changed martial arts forever. So, those guys were like, when I saw that, they were just my idols.
When was that, 93? I mean, when it started getting...
like 93, 94, somewhere around
And
there.
then when were you graduating from high school?
92.
Oh, okay. What a perfect time.
Yeah, it really was.
You had a school started.
It's just ridiculously lucky, right? Like I just, again, it's stupid luck. Like, I got in early, really early. So my school was open a year or two, and then they did those competitions. The UFC came out, and then of course all my students were like, oh, we gotta go, let's go do that. And I was like, again, I was just a stupid kid. At that point in my life, fights were rarely one-on-one. I mean, you'd have one-on-one, but as soon as you started winning, their friends would jump in.
I was going to say.
So I was just a stupid kid going, oh, it's not realistic. Just like dumb. Yeah. So,
but not inaccurate either.
No, in my reality. But again,
Yes.
like you still do fight one-on-one. Anyway, point being is, it was just stupid. Point being, I got talked into it. Like I never wanted to be a coach. I just wanted to be a martial arts instructor. It was just so fun, and I still love it. They talked me into the competition. I never wanted to. All my students talked me into, let's go do this, let's go do that. And then I thought, oh, we do okay. You know what I mean? But we won everything. And of course, that's the worst thing to happen, because then they want to do it again and again and again and again. So, and here I am 30 some odd years later.
Well, so when you're talking about Gaidojutsu, what is that exactly?
So Gaidojutsu, Gaido is street and Jitsu was way of. So when I was a 14-year-old kid, I came up with the way of the street, right? Because again, that was my thing, is like this martial arts stuff just isn't working for me. Like I'm going to make one that's a street, like this is the modern street fighting defense thing.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's where I came up with that.
What did you base, like wrestling, jiu-jitsu,
Yeah,
kickboxing?
kind of everything. A little bit. It really was proto MMA. It really was a little bit of everything. It just wasn't as sophisticated as it is now, right?
Well,
so
you're 14 years old.
Exactly. So I came up with, I have a little logo. I came up with that, and just the whole thing.
I definitely want to see
wanted.
that. You need to send it
they
to
have
me.
shirts.
I got to find it.
Yeah, Brandon Gibson still makes the shirts, and he does he does all that stuff. So, but so that was all when I was 14, because I knew what I wanted to do. Like right by the time I hit high school, I was like, I'm going to be a martial arts instructor. This is what I want to do. So I wasn't very good at math. I can understand high level math, but I'm terrible at arithmetic, and I should say understand it. The concepts are not lost on me. I'll put it that. It's still over my head, because if you don't have, anyway.
I get you.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So the martial arts, I just loved it so much. I still do. So that was my path almost from day one.
Yeah. Tell me about some of your early students, like people that, because I've heard about all the big names, but there's got to be some really great memories.
There's my first kind of crew turned out to be great trainers themselves. Tom Vaughn, Chris Luttrell, Brad Aaronsfield. I had all these guys that were great competitors in the day that ended up opening their own schools and doing extremely well as well. Yeah. It was just a different time. You remember the MMA in those days, MMA in the 90s, there were no rules, and most people fought because they couldn't do a normal job. In other words, they weren't like great athletes; they were just insane. Like they were just right, exactly. They had like you couldn't function doing anything else. So there was a bunch of what I would say the early mental illness where, like, and again, it's not like I'm better than them. Like I've got my own issues as well. We all do, but I've seen it change over the years. But in the 90s, we're just maniacs. Yeah, maniacs. So especially that first generation of fighters are just. Yeah, maniac guys, and they love to do in the bare knuckle competitions.
From one time to another, well, say you go to this competition, there's these set of rules.
Right.
You can do this, but you can't do this.
Right.
The other one, you can do that now, but you can't do this other thing.
It's the inception of rules meetings, right? Like always, people these days come and they go, why do they do rules meetings? And that's why, is because we didn't know where you were. And that was like, the internet was around, but it wasn't really a thing. Like you could sometimes find out about the rules and sometimes not.
Well, and the other people didn't know, so they weren't putting it up there for you to learn.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing and cool. Like, because you're a very pure competitor, if that's what you do.
Right.
You're like, I don't care.
Right.
What are the rules again?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll just go. Exactly, and that's how they were. Extremely tough guys, but they had a lot of issues. as we all do.
I think you just described everybody. On
Right,
the planet
right,
Earth.
you're right. Well, I see now there's much more, as I'm sure you have a similar experience, but the athletes are much more athletic and less crazy these days. They really are. Like they're more normal.
Yeah, I think the crazy people, it's hard for them to stick with the discipline that it takes to
really
be,
is.
you know what I mean? They have that passion in them, but it
Right.
doesn't, the discipline's going to get them there, and they don't have that.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
There's that spontaneous sort of emotional
Right.
outburst that's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Everybody fights in the parking lot if you have to.
Yeah, absolutely right.
But planning to fight another dude from
Right,
months from
right.
now,
Oh, it's a whole
30
different
pounds
ballgame.
down where
Yeah,
we are
right.
from.
Oh, it's a whole different animal for sure.
Well,
sure.
you have been in a leadership role then since you were a young
Too
kid.
young. Yeah.
How have you enjoyed that?
I was too young at the beginning. Like I just make so many mistakes. It seems to be the way of my life. Is I was telling my daughter the other day, like that's what we do. Is like we just get in over our heads and then fight like hell to get out and do it again
Learn
and
the
do it.
dog
Yeah,
battle.
exactly. And that's kind of what I did. So when I was young, I mean, I'm 17 and all my students are in their 30s. So, it was just like, I made a lot of leadership mistakes. I made a lot of personal mistakes and just trying to figure stuff out, and I think that's why I can give good advice these days is I've done everything you can do wrong in MMA coaching. I have done like more than once. So.
I think they say that though. That's wisdom is wasted on the young.
That's right.
Right, and you get it
Right.
by making mistakes. There's no way about it. But it's been. I don't know. Do you feel like leadership is inherent? Because that's a young age to take over.
I think so.
I know you can learn steps, but I feel like it's almost like God-given, for lack of a better term, but it's something that's born into you, and then you develop.
I think in my case that's true. I think I wasn't a terrible leader. I wasn't a good leader, but I wasn't terrible, and I did figure it out pretty quickly. But yeah, there was a lot of mistakes that I made, and you get the usual, like everybody stabs you in the back, and this, that, and the other, and making it your fault, and et cetera, et cetera. So I had to learn a lot about that. And in that era, there were so many people that are mentally unstable that just having to navigate through that.
Especially you being so young, and those people are usually not the most even keeled.
No, that's a good way.
So
of
you
putting
make
it.
a little mistake, and all of a sudden
Right.
it's a big
It's a big deal, and you're like, why is this guy so upset about that? You know what I mean? But yeah, just so learning the ropes was very trying, and then just learning how to run a business. Like I didn't know anything about running a business, right?
that's
So
terrible.
yeah, it was. I could pay one. So like 1 month I could pay rent, but I couldn't pay electric and gas. You know what I mean? So I really learned how to like.
This month we're going to train in the dark, boys.
Pretty much it. That was pretty much it. Like 1 month I always had an outstanding bill that I was just going to miss. I just couldn't. I didn't make enough money to pay all my bills.
That's
so
hilarious.
but it really taught me how to survive when you can't pay all your bills. So it was challenging to say the least.
Well, that's your creative side coming in.
It
again.
really is. Like it is a. It was a challenging but really rewarding experience.
That's awesome. Did you have any coaches or mentors? Like you were saying that some of the Quaker guys were mentors to you.
Yeah, but I didn't have any business guys, right? And their business guys were always like ridiculous. Oh, here's what we're gonna do. Your business is gonna be like, we're gonna get you 10,000. So just like pie in the sky. You knew like this guy was full of crap. There wasn't. So I had information. I had a lot of help there, right? Like I had guys that intellectually I could bounce ideas off of, but I didn't have any real structuralists because nobody had done that before. Nobody had really taught themselves martial arts and then opened a school. And then so even my dad, who's a great leader in his own right, didn't have those experiences. So I could get some advice from those people, but mostly it was just trial and error and just being an idiot.
Wow. I was in your office back in the day when Alvin and I came down, and you have those 4 pictures on your wall. Do you still have those same 4?
They're still up, yep.
And I was thinking about all those guys, after hearing you talk about them, and I remembered it. But tell me how those were your mentors.
So and because exactly that I didn't have anybody, so I decided, well, who are some of the great leaders in history? I'll try to read and emulate what they did. So Ernest Shackleton, who's a phenomenal leader, just anti-intuitive. Obviously George Washington and obviously Lincoln, our 2 greatest presidents, and then Genghis Khan, who for me is the most exceptional individual to ever live. I don't know if in history if there's an individual that like started out where he was and then basically conquered the entire world.
Yeah. Have you
in one
listened to
lifetime.
Dan Carlin's thing on that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. You know how the world is so big and there's so
Yeah.
much information.
Yeah.
But I fell into that and listened to
Yeah.
it a couple times. What an amazing leader he was.
I started with a book called The Devil's Horseman by Chambers, and that got me hooked on him. I was like, wow, these guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
And just pure strategy, right? Like the way that whatever they could do to minimize the risk to themselves and maximize the risk to the opponent. So just completely ruthless. No, Geneva Convention wouldn't be their strong point.
No, sir. Like today in today's age,
It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. But again, for them at that time, that was just what you did.
Yeah.
That was how you fought.
Well, and to hold together such a large empire and so many people.
Incredible.
And really, those people adopted that culture. Like they
for sure.
blended
Yeah, for sure.
and became part of their empire.
Well, and just the way he took like artillery barrages that China, where you're basically launching these grenades, and then used them against the Russians. It was like the way he was basically in the mixed martial arts of generals. He was taking these different ideas, and
That's what I had heard you say, and I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, just being able to mix different
right. Yeah,
ideas?
he took this idea from this culture and used it against the other culture, and so it was this. It was a very, like, just watching his creativity, and he had such an eye for talent. I mean, his kids were obviously incredibly brilliant, but like Subadai and all these amazing generals that he had, it's just such a. Well, I mean, again, you'd have to be to do what he did. You have to be pretty damn near perfect as far as leadership decisions and stuff. And I'm sure if you interviewed him, he would say he made a lot of mistakes.
100% he would.
But man, what a phenomenally brilliant general and leader.
Well, think about the lack of how close knit we are today, right? And how we can, you can know something right now. You called me when you got here.
Right.
I'm here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Genghis he's over here, and he's trying to control this whole huge geographical area to have enough impact or influence or whatever you want to call it on those people that they're able to carry on is amazing.
It is amazing. And his innovation, the way he figured out how to do the horses where they would just, for carrying messages, they always have a first, it was basically the Pony Express. Yeah, it's just all of his innovations, all the way just redoing all of Mongolia, all of their, because you got basically tribes that are fighting it out, unify that whole thing. That would be an amazing feat. Yeah. But then to take that and conquer the entire world.
Well, I mean,
insane.
You look at the American Indian, the Native Americans, they never were able to pull together.
Right. Well, sometimes, but they weren't able to hold it. Like when they drove the Spanish out in the 1600s here, but then they couldn't hold it together. Spanish came back, so yeah.
Well, and then there was times when the American Revolution, times, had they been able to just band together.
Yeah, exactly.
We might not be.
No, that's right. It really is. And we were amazing by then we had been through. I mean, even reading Machiavelli's On War. I mean, The Prince is the easy one, but like using this tribe against that tribe. We had already done that so much in Europe that we used one natives against the other natives. Yeah, it was just, and then all the Guns, Germs, and Steel. What a great book that is! But that really gives you an idea of all of the smallpox and everything. It's just nightmare.
Those are weapons you don't even know about.
Exactly, just nightmare.
Yeah, that's terrible. Well, if you're talking about leaders. Creativity's come up a bunch. What would you say are three? I mean, I know that's narrow, but three qualities it takes to be a good leader.
Well, I think so for me, like, leadership isn't incredibly hard, right? Like, just you be a servant leader, like, that's pretty easy. Just try to empower and take care of your guys, and what do they need, and how can I best serve them? I think that's where you start. But what really fascinates me about good leadership is the anti-intuitive ones, the ones that understand people. Again, so let's take Shackleton. Shackleton kept his guys alive for almost 2 years on the ice after they were stranded. If you guys don't know Ernest Shackleton, go look him up. He's amazing. So anyway, one of the things that he did was he wouldn't let his guys stockpile food. They were like, okay, well, we're stuck on the ice, so let's, kill as many seals and birds or whatever we can to stock, because we don't want to starve to death. But he knew that if we just stockpiled a massive amount of food, that meant you weren't leaving. So he said, no, we're not stockpiling food. And they're like, why not? Because we're not staying. We're getting home.
That's
like
amazing.
that little stuff like that, to put your guys in the right mentality of, no, we're not, it's not scarcity. We're not like, fighting. We're going to make it home, and we don't need to stockpile food. that's the difference, because what people don't understand, what a leader does, is the morale, right? Like that's the first battle. If you are starving and you have great morale, and that's what Washington did, like how he kept that army together, Valley Forge, Morristown, like you just
freezing to death.
Yeah,
starving.
like and it always makes me laugh, like the revisionists that are always like, oh, well, Washington, it was his men that really did it. It was this, that, and those other, Howe outflanked him. I'm like, yeah, well, he had moments of brilliance, like the Hessian thing in Christmas. He had moments of brilliance, but what makes Washington great is how he kept morale together. Like, how did he keep those people together, eating shoes?
Yes.
And they could just leave.
Yeah.
Like, there's...
And nobody would chase him down.
Exactly. They'd go way back over to wherever you want to go. And he kept that like that. No intellectual in their ivory tower would even understand what that is.
No.
Like they haven't been under duress like that, having a man hold them together under these conditions that would break most people, basically gulag-like
break
conditions.
Almost anybody.
Right. And here's this leader keeping everybody together. And there's, while they're getting beaten, they're also winning some too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that is what makes that man great. And if you don't understand that, then don't write books about it.
Yeah. That reminds me when I heard you say that you can't break George Washington, and I was like, yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And Elio Gracie said once, he was like, if you can't lose, there's only one option.
There you go. That's a great way to say it. Yeah, that's it.
And it still gives me chills.
it.
Like
Yeah,
my hair's still
yeah.
raising my arms when I hear the old man say that.
Right.
And that was his whole strategy, was
Right.
just to outlast the guy.
Right. Well, he was smaller. He had to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Just a genius.
And that's like that parallel there between George Washington and what Elio said was pretty cool.
Right.
So you got that resilience. What else?
I think resilience is important. Anti-intuitive is important. Empathy, right?
Empathy.
Like empathy is understanding.
I've heard you say that coaching is a service gig.
Mm-hmm.
You're in it for the guys. You're not in it for yourself.
Right.
How would you put that? What's the word? What's the quality? Is that empathy?
I think empathetic, like as much as you can, like understanding that your guys are going to be suffering and hurting, and just understanding what they respond to, right? Like, some people need the tough, you got to get going. Some people like, listen, man, I know you're hurting, but you got to pull, you know what I mean? So it depends on who they are, what approach you are, but you don't have any of that if you don't have some kind of empathetic personality. And that's, I think, a big thing that we're missing for warrior culture, is that warriors should be taking care of each other. Like, we don't need to, we're already tough. You don't need to like be a bully or like, oh, you know what I could do to you. Like, that's the entertainment side of it.
Yeah.
But that's not like your normal side, in my opinion.
And it's my least favorite thing. Like some of my favorite guys. I mean, Benson's my guy. We've been together for 20 years or whatever, and he's one of the kindest people you ever met.
Absolutely.
But he'll fight you till it's all done.
100%.
And I like that. He never disrespected anybody. He's just going to do his best.
That's right.
And you don't have to do it different.
Right.
Do you find it hard to listen to the Instagram stuff, or
I don't listen to it at all. Yeah, I'm not really on. I mean, I'm on social media here and there, but I don't like look at other people's social media.
Does it ever invade your practices or anything like that?
No, not really, because I have a very clear delineation. I was taught by some people very early on that social media was not my path to happiness. So,
for sure.
Yeah, it is, especially in the entertainment business, right? So that's what it is like, and so I can separate myself from that. Like, I know that when fans are, just dogging on you or whatever, it's just the entertainment business, something to talk about, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't take it personally, and I don't really worry about it too much. Because it's just, fans and reporters being fans and reporters.
Well, and it's not valuable. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Like, if you called me and said, hey, I watched one of your fights and this, and this, I would listen to that because you know what you're doing. And, other coaches, that it's the same way. If I respect the source material, then for sure. But some reporter that's just, doesn't really know what's going on.
Never seen you, never been in your room.
Exactly. Or doesn't really understand fighting. You know what I mean? Like, they think everybody, that's a weird thing about, especially Americans, we're so bad at that. Like, we think if we watch it, we immediately understand it.
100%.
Well, because I'm a real good businessman, I also know how to do car driving or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not how that works. You kind of need a background.
Find out pretty quick.
Yeah, you need a background in it. So yeah.
I think that's amazing too. But you've taught a school for a long time, and people find out fast. Like, I started in Taekwondo, and my instructor started teaching jiu-jitsu. He's like, you should try it. Now, I didn't think I was going to be great or anything, but holy cow, I was like, what in the world? I was getting killed. And it immediately made me want to try it. So anybody that gets in there is going to find the reality of it pretty quick.
Yes, indeed.
If you stop talking and start doing
That's right.
So mental toughness, mental resilience, I guess, because that's more what I'm thinking of. Do you think you can teach that?
Yes, 100%, because I've done it. So I've watched people if they have the desire. So if they have the desire to become mentally tough, you can. If you don't have, if you're like, okay, I'll try to be mentally tough. No, you won't. You won't, because it'll be hard and you'll just stop. Like, never mind. But if you're like, I will suffer with a purpose to grow my mind, 100%. Yeah, you can. I see fighters when they first start, they can take, this much pain, this much pressure, this much, and then I watch them grow into this, and they can double that, triple that. And even we take them running on the mountains. The first time, Holly Holm is a great example of that. When she first started running the mountain, she was always in the back, just trying to keep up. I would have to run back down the line to check on her.
Make sure she's still with you.
Exactly. But then, like now, she'd literally run circles around me. Like she would literally could run circles, could pat me on the head, and I couldn't catch her. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like watching her growth and stuff. So I've seen people become more and more and more mentally tough. So as long as they have the desire, I've watched them.
I would have to be extreme for me, because I've had some, as you have. There's been guys that I want to be a fighter, I want to be the best. And then, you see them in a performance and they break. They break mentally. So you're going to practice harder. We're going to work on these things. Here's your position. You work the technical aspect. You work the physical aspect. But I've never seen them, if the water's turned up hot enough, it feels like they always boil back down. Like, what are your mechanisms to make it a stronger, I guess, infrastructure for them to build on?
Well, it's normalizing the hot water. So that's what you have to do. So you can't do that on the technical side. That's, again, why I usually have them running in the mountains. I would take them until they couldn't do anymore and then show them that they could do more.
Right.
And just doing that over and over and over again. Then I would translate that when we push hard practices. I would say, remember how tired you were and you still ran another sprint. See if you can do another round. And so then they would be like, oh, if you normalize it, you're like, oh, being exhausted, being in the red isn't a terrifying thing. It should just be normal. Yeah. So that is my methodology of getting them there.
Is it more through strength and conditioning then?
Yeah, for sure. Because
not that if you call running that, I'm not.
Right. No. Yeah, exactly. You just have to push them where physically they're not able to give any more, and then show them that they can give more.
And sort of a safe spot too.
Right, exactly. And then translate that back into your practice. Like push them there where they're sparring hard or whatever, and then saying, remember how tired you were. So that helps out a lot. Now, performance anxiety, it's the same thing. You just normalize, make sure that you're sparring in front of people. Everyone's watching you. Everyone's judging you. Yep. So you normalize that. So for me, it's really just about normalizing the things that make you terrified. And eventually, it doesn't terrify you.
It's like that therapy if you're scared of spiders.
Right.
Get a little one.
Exactly.
Make it your friend. And then
right, yeah, exactly. And then you're hanging out with the tarantulas. Exactly. And I really think that's like people that are prejudiced usually don't have friends that are minorities, right? Like there's just something about experiencing other people that are, or other things that aren't negative, right? Like that's the thing is when you push like that and there's somebody screaming at you like, what's the matter with you? Why couldn't you do that? It's negative. You're just going to shut down. Yeah. So some people need that. So if you're a very specific personality, you will grow in that situation, but most people don't. So understanding that there needs to be a positive feedback loop in that incredibly intense situation so that you don't associate that with some negative feedback, I think is very important in your growth.
Well, ever since I started this, it's funny because I'm older than you, but you've been sort of my role model. Like I watched you in the corner to learn how to corner. And so for me, the hotter it gets, the cooler I want to be. Right. I don't want my heart surgeon to be hyped up on Red Bull and in a bad mood. We're going to get this thing done, baby. Right. No, maybe we get the other guy.
Yeah, that's right.
So I feel that a lot. I like the idea. I hadn't thought about it as just being through strength and conditioning, because that is a little bit of a safer place.
It is.
Hey, you can run another sprint.
Right.
Somebody's not choking your neck or punching your face.
There's no, right. It's just you versus you. Yeah. There's no other person, because that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in all of it, right?
Right, exactly.
Do you see it in fighters when they come in? It's pretty easy to see, right? Like when you're pushing them through the pace.
Oh, yeah.
You have them on the Airdyne bike or something.
Yeah. You can tell pretty early on. And there's different style. You have the fighter that comes in and just tells you ad nauseum about how they're going to be world champions, and those are usually the ones that, as soon as it gets hard, they quit.
They're not going to make it through there.
Right, they've already masturbated about it so many times in their head, right? That they've already won. Like, why train hard?
You're done. You're already feeling good about it.
Exactly, you're already feeling great. You've already got all your deals. So yeah, it's the guys that just come in and go, I'm going to work. Those are usually the ones that do well.
Yeah, I was, for me, it's been hard. I've seen a couple guys that they do struggle and when too much pressure is put on, right? Like they do great. The guy's just a dog. He keeps coming. And then all of a sudden we're backing up, not physically, but mentally.
Mentally, sure.
And then you lose fights like that.
Absolutely.
You lose important fights like that.
Absolutely.
And so Benson kind of spoiled me for everybody because
he's so tough.
He's never going to stop.
Yeah, he's so tough.
There's not one person that would outdo him.
No.
And it kind of ruined it for me for the rest of my life. It was my first guy, really. So I was just curious about that because you've had such a wide variety of characters.
That is a fact.
You know what I mean?
Wide variety of characters is a great line.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, you've had people from all over, all walks of life, from different parts of the world.
Yep.
And you've had to help them get past some of those things.
It's true.
I like that, Coach. Well, you've had, I wanted to talk some about your champions and talk about what you think makes them special. So GSP, Jon Jones, Holly Holm, and there's one more, Rashad Evans. I don't know how I could forget Rashad. So let's start with GSP. And I wanted to put it in this context too. You talked about people being fighters, martial artists, and entertainers. At one point I heard you say.
Right, sure.
And talk about the combination of those things because they're not always going to be the same, right?
Right.
We're all different parts and mix.
Right.
So tell me about GSP. What made him special?
What I really liked about GSP is he was entertaining because he didn't talk a bunch of crap and wasn't going after people, and he was just a martial artist. So when George, if you ever caught George and you caught him in an arm bar or something, some of the other fighters that he used to train with were very good. That was always the best day of his life. Like he was so excited about it, and he would go and like, how did you do that? And like right after the fights, before he even took his gloves off, he'd be like, this move didn't work. Why not?
I remember the Dan Hardy fight in particular, talking about the arm lock in the back.
Exactly. So like just that drive to be perfect.
Yeah.
That work ethic from George was amazing. And he's just such a good guy. One of the very few people that fame did not change at all, not even a little bit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and you know that better than anybody. So just, he's so sweet and so kind, and just so, again, he's that guy. He's so tough. You'd have to work out, do that guy.
For me, I feel like he's the martial artist of all martial artists.
He really is.
You know what I mean? Because, of course, he would push himself. Of course, he had hard times. The hit him with your groin line that everybody loves to send to you, probably.
You understand me? Yeah. Nothing matters now. Hit him with your groin.
Of course.
But he loved the process of it.
He did. And he was a real martial artist. Like some guys are just fighters. Like they don't care about the martial. Just show me how to win, coach, and I'm going to win. Some people are like that. But he was a martial artist. He loved all of it, and it was really cool.
Well, tell me about Johnny Jones then. What makes him?
John's thing is creativity. Like he has when the pressure's on him, he gets very creative. And his sense of timing and rhythm and creativity are, like with Jon, you wanted to get really specific in your game plan stuff to just let him go. So you'd put him you'd say, okay, here's all the things that your opponent is going to do. And he would practice over and over and over. He's obsessed with watching fight night all the time, watching. And then for whatever reason, when he watched enough film and studied enough, he would just flip this creative switch, and he would do stuff that I was like, whoa, like that's incredible what he just did there.
Well, I mean, the spinning back kick against Stipe is the very last moment, of course, in a long career of moments. But that, I mean, he doesn't really throw that much. He's thrown it before.
But not to stop somebody. It was great. That was like that kind of stuff where he studies enough so that he's comfortable enough to be creative.
Do you feel like he's got a little nasty side to him?
Oh, of course.
Because he's mean.
Yeah.
And
you have to be. To be a fighter, you have to have that little bit of an edge to you to finish people off, to do that stuff. So, he's definitely got that edge.
Well, his talk with Cormier.
Oh, yeah, he goes,
pussy is like, oh, my God.
Can you hear that, Jon?
You got your ass whipped today, buddy.
No, I didn't. You're a I can't wait to beat the out of you.
Yeah,
boy.
like just like you did today. Everybody say you're so strong. You're weak.
Okay.
You're a little fat bitch. How much you weigh right now, fat? Hey, see, are you still there?
Yeah, I know. He'll
So
go right
cold
at you. Yeah, he'll
and
go right at
so
you.
mean. So that's an interesting mix. You know, his finish of Lyoto when he just dropped him.
Yeah,
I remember I saw that. I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
If that's me, John, my mom's sitting out there.
Right.
Just lay me down a little bit.
Yeah, be nice about it. Yeah. You know, he's John definitely has a ruthless side to him, but I think every good fighter that I've trained has that.
Yeah, to tap into. You thought George too?
Oh yeah, like George will finish you.
Yeah.
George is the sweetest, nicest guy, but man, if you got him mad, he would be like, okay, I'll show you. He would just be like, okay, I'll show you.
Oh no.
And then it was you wouldn't want, and especially like somebody like George to be mad because he's always never mad, right? So like those are the
always
guys
happy.
that
You know
you're like, oh my, the whole room would
You
George is
hit that
mad.
switch.
Yeah, exactly. So George he would take care of business no matter what it would be.
Well, I mean, he's one of the greatest of all time. So of course he can, but he always seemed like he didn't love fighting that much.
Yeah, you would have to ask him. I think he liked the lifestyle fighting gave him more than he liked the
Well, and I
actual
think he
fighting.
loved the art of it.
Yeah.
Or it felt like, I don't know George.
Yep.
He's every time I met him, he's super nice.
He's the sweetest
You know,
guy.
he's a great guy and a lot of respect. But it looked like he's like,
I think so. I think there was a lot of that. He would always get very nervous before his fights and stuff. He was very brave. So yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
think there's
cool.
two of- yeah.
So then Rashad, how was Rashad different?
So Rashad, what I loved about Rashad was he had this like it's a fierce intelligence. Like he was very sharp about how he did his thing. And so really Rashad was incredibly physically talented, but I liked how he really studied people. Like he studied the game. He was another curious guy.
Yeah.
And such an interesting person. But like what I really liked about Rashad was how he absorbed everything. He would study you. He really absorbed, like he was easy to coach because he really listened to the coaching. He really wanted to be better and really wanted to be good. So that drive that he had, I think, was one of his biggest assets.
He's pretty tough too because he won that heavyweight season at the Ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
And he
Incredible.
was not a heavyweight.
No, incredible, and just a tough guy. But Rashad was one of those guys that would say really insightful things. Like we'd all be talking, and then he would say something, and you'd be like, "Damn."
Hang on, let me write that down.
No, really, like he was that guy. So, and still is. So like he has this fierce intelligence that I really like.
No, that's a great compliment. Fierce intelligence is one that I'm going to take with me today too. I don't have it, but I would like to. I'm going to order it.
I think
I'm going to go.
You have that as well.
I'm going to go order it on YouTube today.
That's right.
So now Holly, what made her special?
Oh my! Holly is one of the toughest, bravest people I've ever met. Like, and that's saying something. That woman I have watched her fight with broken arms. She broke her arm I forget which fight it was, but like in the first round, and then like fought 3 or 4 more rounds and finished the girl with the thing was shattered. It's not like a hairline. The thing was shattered. So she's just unbelievably tough and unbelievably brave. She was so, like that fight with Rousey, she was so nervous. She does this little thing before she gets in the cage where she's like vibrating. Like she's so nervous that she's vibrating. So like just to see how brave she was, see how tough she was, and just so determined. So like when we would run the mountains, we'll run the crest and we'll do maybe 50 sprints on these stairs, and then we would walk home as a cool down, but she would run home. That's one of the big things with her is she would always be like, oh, okay, you guys are going to walk, I'm going to run. You guys are running this fast, I'm going to run faster. Yeah, so she had this crazy work ethic that really propelled her to the top.
That reminds me, I saw Tom Brady's thing. I don't know if you saw it, but it's his talking about his teammates and when they were winning all the Super Bowls, they'd be like, "Oh, you got in here at 7 today. That's good." I mean, I was in here at 6.
Right.
But that's good. I mean,
Oh, good job.
You benched 300. That's great, man.
320.
Yeah, 320. I'll see you tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
So I love that.
There's
mentality.
a lot of that. Yes, that's very Holly. She's just very brave and very tough.
What an amazing moment to be part of, that Ronda Rousey thing. And I was going to ask you about that. How weird was that? I mean, I guess I've been in there with opposite personalities, but boy, what a totally diametric approach to fighting. I felt like Ronda from this really dark, angry place, or it felt so to me.
Right.
Maybe she didn't feel that, but she certainly put that energy out there. And then Holly just seems like She seems like she's your family.
Yeah.
You guys.
Happy-go-lucky, sure.
When you're there at the ring,
Yeah.
she's there with you.
Right.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
I know it is about her, and I know she knows that, but it felt like, I don't want to say good versus evil, because that's not what I mean.
Yeah, Rhonda's a very
but
good
just
person.
dark versus light almost.
Right. Or just where where are you channeling your energy from? I mean, that's the beautiful things about like the Star Wars movies based on all of Joseph Campbell's stuff, like that. Are you getting it from the dark side or the light? And yeah, all of that is, I think, it still has relevance. Was it tough to deal with, or just was? It just was. Like, for me, it was nice that by that time I was pretty experienced. So, you just go, you prepare as well as you can and get in there. And it was such a great team. I mean, Mr. Winklejohn really did so much work to make sure that thing went well. And Izzy.
You've been carrying him for years.
That's right. That's the other way around, I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
I knew you were going to say that first. I had to sneak it in before you did.
No, Big Bro's always looking out for me.
Yeah, and Izzy's great too.
Izzy style, I love him. So yeah, we had these great coaches and these great people that really helped. And it was when we won, everybody was losing their mind except me, because we were supposed to win, right? Isn't that why we were here?
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those moments where that guy's just sitting there. I'm like, oh, I want to be that cool. I want to have known that was going to happen.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Well, I was very lucky.
Well, difference between cornering all those guys too is the next thing I wanted to ask you about, because you've cornered so many, a whole cast of characters like we were talking before. How is it hard to adapt, or is it just something you kind of do like surfing? You just shift without thinking about shifting?
More of that in these days, but at first it was like I was trying to figure out how to coach, because again, there was nobody to teach you, right? So like, how do I do this? Figuring out the people's individual what made them tick. And I figured I had to do that in practice before I did that in the actual fight.
You have to actually know somebody.
Right, exactly. As you know, the audience might not have coached as much as you do, so they might not know. But yeah, it's a figuring out what makes, again, that was empathy. Figuring out what makes people tick, I think, was a big part for me.
Well, how in the world do you do that with so many people? That is a huge investment of time and heart and energy.
Well, and as you know, like for about 15 years, I was pushing 7 days a week. I would get like a couple hours off on Sunday, and that was it. Yeah. And then I burned out because of that, right? Like I hit the wall because of so many people over and over and over. And what it does is it tries to steal the love from you, right? Because you win so much and you lose so much that the highs and the lows stop meaning anything. Like, oh, you had one of the worst, losses ever. Well, next fight, you've got to, it is literally the next fight.
2 days from now.
Right. Or even just the next fight, right? You've been there where you're like,
the same event.
The same event. And you just
sir.
have this terrible loss you did so much to work with the guy, and they're devastated and you're devastated, and then down to the next guy.
Yeah.
So you don't have the luxury of moping around and feeling sorry for yourself, sorry for your guy. And or 2 days later, or you have this huge win where everybody's like, oh my God, you did this amazing thing.
You're the greatest thing ever.
Next week you lose. You know what I mean?
You're the worst thing ever.
Exactly. So there's not that's what it does, is it tries to steal your highs and your lows from you. And like staying in the process, keeping that organic was one of the things that I had to learn to, and then not doing it as much helped me.
Well, there's so many. I mean, it just is a drain. Like,
it's a drain.
Being a coach, being a teacher, if you're a good one of those at any level, you care about your people and you're trying to help your people. To help them, you have to know them. So to know them, you got to spend time with them. Mm-hmm. And there's no shortcut to that.
No, there isn't.
And that's what I was kind of wondering about, is how you managed and still managed to do that.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of it is just that. It's just, getting to know the guy during practice, seeing what they're about, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, just that, and it's a fun process. Like, I love learning about people. And I don't know if you have this experience, but I certainly do. Even the guys that I game plan against, you end up like really respecting and admiring them. Like, wow, like if you watch somebody's fights, especially at the higher level, and you see all the stuff they've done that your guy's fighting, you're like, wow, that's an amazing person.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough fight. But you come into this great position of being around people that technically you admire, you know what I mean? Like, this is a person that's a great athlete that's done these amazing things in there, and I think that that's been cool.
Do you feel like that comes, I felt like when I was young, I didn't start this young, but when I started this, it was very like adversarial for me. And And the older I get, or the more I do it, maybe it's both, but we're in it together. Like we're creating something that's never been created. It's very collaborative. It's not.
Yes.
It's not adversarial.
Right.
But it's a weird thing to accept for me.
Yeah.
You know, because when I was young, I was very like talker and
Sure.
whoop your ass.
Right,
And,
right.
You know what I mean?
Hot-headed, sure.
And it had to be. You had to be
Right.
mad to do it.
Right, right, right.
And then you meet so many good people that's not the right way to do it.
Right.
And then I find myself like, oh, should I not like them a
Right,
little bit
right,
more?
right,
Do you ever feel that, or you just go with it?
No, I usually go with it. And like figuring it out, like you're saying, like, because you come with your own, this is the way I did it, right? Yeah. So this is the way it should work for everybody. And me learning that no, everybody approaches it a little bit differently, like that process that we go through, where you're taking your own utility and kind of putting it to the side and saying, how can I best serve this person?
Yeah. You know, and I was going all to the champions and all the corners you've been in. What are your best corner moments? Things that you remember? Now, there's one for sure that you know, and I love hearing you tell about it, so I'm not going to ruin it. But
which with the groin one?
Yeah, that. Well, I like that one.
But
Too. The best one is Carlos.
Oh yeah, with Rory.
Because you've referred to a bunch of times. You referred to Rocky moments. You know,
right?
Like we love those Rocky moments,
Sure.
but really fighting is just continual suffering.
Right.
It's getting to the next wave and getting a breath. You know,
absolutely right.
But that was Rocky.
It really was. And every once in a while, so I mean, I've cornered thousands of corners at this point, right, since forever and a day. And yeah, they all kind of blur together. Like, and people will, I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like the RAM in my head is gone. Like people will be like, you remember this? And I'll, nope, I literally have no memory. I'll see fighters that I've cornered and I don't remember cornering them. Like that's how bad I am right now. Which is like I'm older now, as you can see, but still, like even, I think it's just so many, right?
You have done a lot, Coach.
So yeah, I have moments like that where I'm like really happy, like it worked out, or I remember moments where I'm like just devastated. But yeah, the ones that are remembered from me is like the silly ones, right? Like the go get some fans. I was telling John, I got in trouble for that one.
Jon Jones! Jon Jones! God damn it. Jon! Go check on him! Go check on him! Go check on Leoto! Get some fans!
Yeah, they hit him with your groin to give me 5 minutes of hell.
You give me 5 minutes of hell! You understand me, son? You give me 5 minutes of hell! Let's go!
Well, there are these kind of ones that follow me around.
Yeah.
But I think my best moments are just like when the young guys win and you can just see them like in their third or fourth fight. And they're like, wow, I'm really good at this. This is amazing. You know what I mean? Just that joy that you see. And it's so pure at that point. I really enjoy that. I like seeing that. And I really like going to the smaller events these days because there's so much of that purity there. There's so much, like everybody's there. No one's making any money. The promoter's not making money. The fighters aren't. There's no money. So they're just doing it because they have a dream and they love it. And there's something about that energy that's very different than the UFC. You get to the UFC at the beginning phases, you get some of that, but then it's all protecting. Yeah. Then I'm the champion. I've got to protect the champion. I'm on a 6-fight winning streak. I've got to protect it. You know what I mean? Like there's a pressure there. That it is beautiful in its own way, but there's something about that beginning part of it where everybody's there, and it's real. I can't describe it other than like there's a hunger there. There's like I don't know, it just reminds me of how much I love it.
Well, and there's like not insecurity, but a not knowing.
Right, yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to be at this.
Right, and I really want to try it. And,
yes.
And then like when they win, they love it, or when they lose, it's just... Yeah, I really like those small events because you really feel like this is what it's about. Like this is what I grew up around. There's
been a few of those, and I'm sure for sure you guys have you have a series of fights in Albuquerque for your team, right?
We used to have more, yeah.
Yeah. But a couple of our local fights where we'd have 7 or 8 people on the card, and then the whole crowd is yours.
Right.
And then you have one of those magical nights where everybody does great, and you all get in the cage, and there's 150 people, and it's like,
it's wonderful.
I could stop right now.
Be all right.
Yeah. That feels so good to me.
And just the inspectors, everybody about that backstage is like they're all there for the love of the sport and the love of martial arts and entertaining, and it's just great. I love it. That's
funny. That brings me to a thought that you go to the big shows now. everybody knows who you are, you know, because you've been around a long time.
Yeah, I'm a dinosaur.
And for me in Arizona, I've been there for almost 20 years. Sure. So all the guys are like, hey, coach, how you doing? Yeah. It's really fun. Yeah. But it makes it really bad when the inspectors are bad. You know what I mean? When you get kind of those smaller people that are like, hey, your shoelaces are supposed to be this far apart.
Right. Now they get a little.
And you just look at them. What do? You just laugh? It's like,
pretty much.
You're so easy going with that kind of stuff.
I used to get a little more heated. I don't have a problem with it until it endangers my fighter's safety.
Right.
Like the whole you can't eat for 4 or 5 hours, you can't bring food back or eat, like that's ridiculous.
Yes.
Like no, my guy needs to have energy to fight. Sorry. Yeah. Like some people don't eat, that's fine, but some people do need to eat.
Yeah,
so
if they need
that's
to, we're going
right.
to.
That's cute. Like you know, but like that's not safe. Like sorry. Like so just stuff like that where I'm like no, or like sometimes like if they're not used to seeing. You have to, in MMA gloves, you always have to open the fingers up. The fingers are terrible in those gloves.
Yeah. Well, they don't want you to manipulate.
Right, yeah. Are you working the glove? I'm like, it's this thin. Like,
I don't need to work it.
Right, exactly. It's already worked.
Yeah,
so,
I was actually at a show in New Mexico where the guy almost threw me out of the show.
Really?
Because you know that thumb flap?
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't fit anybody.
No, of course.
And it falls off.
Right, uh-huh.
I was like, hey, you know, this other show, a bigger show,
right.
We folded it under and taped it.
Right.
And it doesn't do anything.
Right.
There's no padding on it.
Right.
All it's going to do is maybe scrape the guy in the eye.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't having it.
No, of course.
And then almost threw me out.
Of course.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Sorry.
I was like, well, it's all right. Let's just use it. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, and a lot of them come from boxing where it's a little bit different. So, but yeah, most of it, I'd say 9 out of 10 inspectors are great. And
do you like seeing the people? Like for me, when I go to the UFC, it's always fun. I feel like
yeah. I see you, and I see I see all my friends, right? Yeah. And even the guys that have worked there a long time. There's a few of them that are still there, and they're nice to see. And it
feels comfortable, right?
Yeah, that's a very comfortable place for me. Any kind of backstage. Yeah, it's very.
I love that too.
I know somebody there. Yeah.
The possibilities. I don't know. It sounds silly, but that moment before you go, I'd rather just stay there.
Right, yeah.
Because everything's possible.
Right.
Nothing
that's
bad has happened.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you know, just the magic of that moment. It's like I'm good.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Where are my keys?
That's right. Let's go. That's funny. Yeah. It's. I just love the process so much. I love the training. I love that part. I love the actual fighting. I love it all. Because it keeps me from being bored, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you have so many different things you can do.
Do you still find the curiosity in the fighting part?
Yeah, I'm still figuring stuff out. Or I'll see somebody do something, I'm like, oh man, and then I get mad, like how come I didn't think of that 20 years ago? Damn it!
Oh, I do that every day.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I'm still curious. I'm still having fun.
I was thinking about all the guys that you've walked out, you know, and the different ways they get ready. Again, when I went to Albuquerque the first time, you were telling me about Keith Jardine, that he would get really nervous, or I don't know if nervous was the word, but he wasn't feeling great. And you helped him. He put together this scenario as he walked into the cage. He got closer to the lights. He was warmer and warmer.
Oh, yeah, that's from Joey Villasenor.
Oh, okay, it was Joey,
It was Joey on that one.
And I still remember that story.
Yeah.
And how cool that is.
Yeah.
And how do you deal with them when they walk out? Like Cowboy he's done videos on how he feels terrible and he doesn't want to fight, thinking about throwing himself off the balcony so he doesn't have to go.
Yeah.
And then there's people that are storming out of there.
Yeah.
Is that a weird time, or is that a fun time for you? Or?
It is. It's usually fun if I've done my job right. Like, so like if I have prepared them and figured out how to break their little code, then it's a great time. But like some people, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't good enough to figure out how to break their code, and get them to enjoy that process a little bit. And so yeah, if I did well, then I would like it. But if I could never figure it out, it would drive me bananas.
Did you just go? I was thinking about Clay Guida and watching his brothers just slap the junk out of him. Was that so funny?
I loved it. And Clay was one of those guys that is a born fighter.
Yeah.
Like Clay would do good in practice. He would do good. But sometimes I'd watch him. I'm like, how are we going to beat? You know what I mean? Like, and then he would just step up. I've never had a fighter step up the way that guy did. Fight day, he truly loved fight day.
Yeah, he did.
Loved it. He would call me in the morning, game day, coach, it's game day. He was so excited. And yeah, his brother who I just love to death too. I love that whole family. And he would just beat the dog.
He's so
crap out of
big.
him.
You're up too many weight divisions, Jason.
Yeah. I know. But Jason, I just love him. So, yeah, and they would get in there, and he would just fight his heart out and beat people that he had no business beating. Like, I don't remember Dos Anjos, and I mean, he'd beat Josh Thompson in the day. I mean, he's beating guys where I was like, how did he do
Pettis.
that? Pettis, yeah.
Fresh off that WC title,
exactly,
too.
Yeah, that's right.
He was always, for me, I love him because his energy is so pure, I think.
Oh, he just
loves to be in there.
He loves it. And he's such we still talk all the time today. He's just such a good guy.
Oh, that's super cool, Coach.
He's an awesome guy.
I think I want that.
Yeah.
I want Benson to come see me when I'm 84, you know. I want those kids to come. I love that. Do you have a good network of old relationships with these guys?
I do. Yeah. We talk and I mean, and I just love keeping up with what they're doing. Keith Jardine, just speaking to him, he's just killing it now in the movie thing. He's directing and writing and just doing all this amazing stuff. And it's like just watching them grow and
that's got to make your heart swell.
Oh, I'm so proud of all of them. It's amazing.
Keith, who would have thought that he'd been a movie guy?
I know. You wouldn't think it. He's
that big, awkward zombie.
Yeah, exactly. But, man, he's brilliant at it. He's really, really good at it.
I think I saw a little clip of him, and he was talking about how he feels like, I don't know.
Yeah.
How cool is that to feel that again?
Yeah. No, he's all in on it. And he has that same work ethic that made him a great fighter. He's
that's what you need to do. Keep working at what we were just talking about before.
Right. That's right.
What do you have any funny stories for me?
See, that's the thing, right? Like, everybody's always like, you got to write a book. You got to write a book. And I'm like, no, because I'd have to throw people under the bus, right? You know what I mean? Like, no, but I'm not interesting. Really, I'm not. Like, I'm not. But I've hung out with a lot of interesting people. However, all my stories would be throwing them under the bus. So I'm very careful about, like, I don't want to, I'm not a rat. I'm not going to.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
So, yes, but I can't tell you.
I remember when you told me about a kid that wouldn't posture up. Right. And you started getting the crowd.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So we can tell that one. I forget where we were. It was somewhere in the Midwest. And the guy had beautiful takedowns. And he would get the guy down and then was just snuggling him. He was not ground and pounding him. So, I was posture up, and his last name was Gibbs. So I was saying, posture up to hit. He wouldn't listen. So the drunk guys behind me were screaming and yelling, as they do, especially in those days. This is probably early 2000s. And so I said, hey, guys, you want to help me out? They're like, ugh. I said, let's start a chant, posture up Gibbs. And so I had the entire arena.
Oh, my gosh.
Everybody going, posture up Gibbs. Posture up Gibbs, and he still wouldn't do it. So then I was like, never mind. Like, if the whole place is chanting one thing and you still won't do it.
This is not happening
right,
today.
Yeah, he's just brain locked. So, but I did have it, and I did coach him with an entire audience, which I'm sure hasn't been done often.
That story cracks me up. I still think about it.
Yeah. He was a hell of a fighter. He really was.
My favorite part is the training room. Mm-hmm. Always, answering the questions, like figuring out puzzles, like going down the road, like, oh, he grabs me like this, and you think you have the answer. And then, the kids are so talented now. And some sick wrestler goes, well, I like to do this. And you're like,
that's brilliant.
How did I not have that?
Right.
And then the jiu-jitsu guy goes, oh, you can do this after that. Pretty soon I'm just like playing ping pong with these three guys. Right. And they come up with something that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Do you still love that part of it?
I do. I really enjoy coming up with moves. I mean, that's all I've ever really done. So if I lost that, I think I would stop doing it. So just that the working through the ideas, it's great, because all that was to me was a laboratory, right? Like to see what ideas worked and what didn't. So I didn't really care about the entertainment, and I still don't. That's that's the fighter's deal. My deal is, what's the efficacy of this technique? How can I, like, how can I use it in different places? That's the part I really love.
Well, I mean, that's from the beginning. And that's where you fell in love with it and started doing it and kept doing it. And it drew people to you the whole time.
And I think that's the only thing that's why I'm still even a little bit relevant, is I'm still doing it. So
stop it.
You're so it's dumb. Still fun. Yeah, well.
You give yourself too bad of a time. I won't stand for it, sir.
Right.
So I heard you're going to be a politician. Is this still true?
Nah, it's just politics is so nasty these days. Like I
can't even imagine.
Yeah, I'm really I was thinking about it when I was still a little bit burned out, and I'm getting back into MMA, man. I'm really having fun doing it again.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to put politics on hold. Maybe, 10 years down the road or something when I've maybe a little smarter.
Your dad worked for the government, right?
Well, he worked, he was a lobbyist. He worked for different organizations, but now it's Disability Rights in New Mexico, where he would advocate for people with special needs. That would, so he did a lot of lobbying. He never worked for the government directly as far as that stuff. But yeah, he was always, he was a big advocate.
Well, that's helping people that need help.
Yes. And that's what my parents really hammered into my head, is happiness comes from helping people.
Oh.
So, and that's why I chose the coaching route over the fighting route. And I think that it really had a huge influence on me. Like, I love my parents and I really respect them.
That's awesome. With the service, again, that comment you made, I don't know how long ago, it wasn't even something I heard recently doing the research. Mm-hmm. It was something I heard you say in an interview, that we're in a service gig. And
Yeah.
it, like, I feel that way, but I had never heard it verbalized like that.
Right.
And it's obvious the way, like you're serving your parents' legacy well.
Try to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try
That's
to.
super cool. Well, what do you got planned on the future? You're just going to coach 7,000 more world champions or what?
Yeah, I just want to do it, I think, till the wheels fall off. Like, I just want to do it till I can't do it anymore. Just because it's still giving me so much. And the nice thing about the martial arts is you can work with police officers, you can work with soldiers, you can do different things and still do what you do.
Yeah.
And self-defense stuff still. So I'm trying to branch out as much as I can and keep myself interested.
Yeah, I read about the Deliver Fund with
that
that guy,
great.
Nicky, what's his last name?
McKinley, yeah.
McKinley.
Yeah.
And what an amazing thing is that, like, human trafficking, what a huge problem.
Yeah.
And then you working with the soft community and
Yeah.
all those guys. I just love that, Coach, that you're still giving back. You're still serving, and that there's no glory in that.
No.
For you.
No, not at all.
Yeah, there's no sex appeal.
Nope, not at all. I don't even talk about it, right? Like, I say I do it, but yeah, like, that's, yes, correct.
Yeah,
because again, it's not about, it has nothing to do with me. I'm just helping those people try to, they're doing the real job, the real stuff.
But you're putting a spine to some really good things.
I try.
You know what I mean? Because you're keeping people that we need safe, and then you're also keeping the bad guys safe.
That's true.
By teaching the good guys not to.
Right. Well, I did for New Mexico. I redid the combative stuff again for police officers, because we were doing stuff that was like from the 70s. Yeah, and so just teaching people how to work as a team, how to each has a sector, so you can control people. Yeah, just stuff like that. I think has.
Is that something you kind of developed on your own?
Yeah, it had to be, because first of all, you had, like, it's teamwork stuff. So, and that's the thing is, like, a lot of martial arts people want to go do these jobs, but then they just end up doing MMA.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's combatives. It's a very different. Right. Like, you have to understand the tools and the mission, and, like, all of these things are very specifically put in place to use or not use. So yeah, it's like, you can't just come in and do MMA. Like, I know how to punch and kick people. It has nothing to do with what operators have to deal with. I mean, there are punches and kicks, obviously, but it's a very different thing when you're wearing a
piece
kit.
Of the puzzle. Yeah.
Exactly. So you have to understand and train them through that lens.
Well, I was going to ask you if coaching was always going to be part of it, but it is.
I think so. And plus, I really don't have any other skills, man. Like, I can't even cook well. Can ask my wife. I do not cook. I clean. I do that. I do clean well. I like
take
cleaning
direction
my house.
well.
I can move heavy things from one spot to another, but that's it. I really have no other skills. I spent my life doing this, so I didn't develop anything else.
For me, you're one of those golden souls.
Oh, thanks
my brother.
For saying so. Appreciate that. Back at you.
I've been watching you do it, and you've been, again, it's weird because I'm older, but still you've been my role model through this thing.
Thanks for
and when people early, they'd be like, yo, you remind me of Greg Jackson. I'd be like, what? Yeah.
Yes, you could not have a worse.
Minus all those champions. I'm going to get some someday. I'm coming.
No.
But I just want to say thank you for doing this.
Oh,
and you're the best, man.
Oh, thanks.
Thank you for setting the bar so high.
You get me all choked up. Thanks for saying so, bro. Thank you.
You're the man. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.